Hey there, guys. It's been a while since I posted a video, so I just wanted to touch base with you and talk about a couple things. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. um, Currently in an active trade right now. This isn't it, and we're going to talk about a few potential setups. So let's get to it. Let's see, what trade am I in? I'm pretty sure it's Euro Swiss. Okay, we're in this trade right now. It is active. We got in around yesterday sometime, early in the morning, and it hit a level of resistance. Um, as I've explained before, these are all resistance and support levels of previous price action. Um, So I saw a potential setup in here after this candle formed. We saw a small wick up here, a nice long wick here, which kind of gave me the go ahead on jumping into this trade, going short. Uh, there's a lot of room for it to run down here. So what we did was we entered. We set a tight stop loss, and we set our target price down here at this 108.61 level. Um, our our limit was 31 pips, and our stop is slightly over 17 pips, which kind of gives us somewhere in the range of a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, which is kind of what we were going for. We got into this trade. It ran down. It, kind of came back up, and it came down within 7 pips of my target, and then kind of ran in the other direction. Now it's kind of heading upward. That happens. Had I been, really keeping a close eye on it, I probably would have, gotten out of the trade right around here if I saw it start to retrace. I probably would have just closed out here. But like I said before, things like this happen. It retraced, and we'll see where it goes from here. This area of resistance has been, kind of tested before. It broke through back here August 10th, and then it just kind of ran down. It's been kind of settling in this area here, popped back up through, hasn't really broken through this area of resistance. So we're going to sit on it, see where it goes. um if it hits the stop, then it hits the stop, whatever, I'll live with it. But right now I do think that there's some room for it to run down. Overall, there is a downtrend. Looks like we're getting lower lower highs. So we'll sit on that. We'll see where it goes. Um, that is Euro Swiss on the 8-hour chart. Let's take a look at a few other pairs. Euro Yen, kind of trading in between support and resistance line. Not gonna do anything about that. USD Yen, kind of the same thing. Pound Yen, same thing, in between support and resistance. Uh, Okay, USD Swiss, same thing. NZD USD. Okay, this is the trade that we took a few days ago. We got in right here, as you can see. It tested this area of resistance. Didn't quite break through. Came kind of up to this, this upward trend channel. Tested a few times, never really broke through. Just never really quite punched through this area of resistance. So we took a short trade. We set our limit, or our target, our limit target price down in this 72.80 area. And it just ran down and hit the limit and retraced. Could potentially get back in this trade, but You know, I think I'm just gonna take my you know, my 30 pips and just keep it moving. But you know, we'll see if I want to get back in and make a play on it. Pound USD. Looks like we got a pretty good setup going here. Forming right here in an area of resistance. We're getting a nice bearish candle. This next candle will be forming. We're looking at an 8-hour chart right now. It's about 4:45 p.m. This next candle will be forming around 5 o'clock. So we got about 15 minutes for this next candle to form. This looks like a pretty good setup. This thing could potentially, you know, run down to this area, or just continue a downward movement in here. Where to get in here? It's about 40 pips, like maybe 6 to 10 pips above this upper wick. Should probably put me in around 46 to almost 50 pips. So in order to get a 1 to 2 reward ratio, we'd have to get somewhere down, have our target price somewhere down in here, around 130, 129. That'd be an 100 pip target price. That could be a possibility. I'm gonna wait another 15 minutes to a half an hour before I decide on whether I want to get into this trade. It obviously would be a short play. This thing looks like it's you know it's range trading right now. It's broken through this level of resistance 1, 2, 3 times. Other than that, it's pretty much been trading in this area. That looks like a pretty decent setup. I'll keep my eye on it. Like I said, within the next 15 minutes to half hour, I'll decide on whether I want to get into that trade or not. I just want to make sure that it's not going to continue upward. Euro Swiss, we just talked about that one. Euro pound, kind of trading in between support and resistance line. Looks like it may start to head back upward. We'll see. Next candle forms in about 10 minutes from now. Keep an eye on it. It looks close to this level. You know, it touched. It touched into this area of support and then kind of retraced. So we'll see. USD CAD, another potential good setup. Overall, this is in an upward trend. I don't know if I would want to short here. It still has a lot of room to move upward. I mean, you can see all this price action. You know, it's broke through this level of resistance several times. It would really take a real bearish move for me to have to short this play right here. But it tested a couple days ago and never broke through. We'll see. I'll keep a close eye on that. But it looks from a price action standpoint, it looks like a decent setup. So we'll see if we want to get into that. Let's see. If I were to get into this trade, I would probably enter somewhere around here. That's about 47 pips, so maybe 57 pips. So we'd be looking at about 114. Somewhere down here, and I doubt that it would retrace all of the way back down here. It would probably, if it were to run down, it probably would come down to this area, or maybe down to here, 43 pips down to this 128.60 level, or 75 pips down to this 128.34 level, which is above, slightly above a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Like I said, I like to do 1 to 2, or sometimes 1 to 1.5. I don't know. We'll see about that. Euro pound really, or not euro pound, but what's that, pound USD? Pound USD looks like the trade that I would really be most interested in getting into. Euro USD. This actually looks like a decent setup as well. Tested, came down to this support level, broke through, and well, actually, I'm sorry, didn't break through, but tested, bounced back up to this area of resistance, and now it's back down. Could it come back down to this level? Potentially, we'll see. This thing looks like it's in the overall uptrend, so going long actually wouldn't be a bad idea. I'll keep my eye on it, so we'll see where this goes from here. This is Euro USD on an 8-hour chart. So right now, Euro USD, Pound USD look like the two best options right now. I'm going to be keeping an eye on them. These next candles will be forming soon, and they will give me a better idea of whether I want to short Pound USD and long Euro USD. Both 8-hour charts. So that's pretty much it for today's price action analysis. Like I said, I didn't want to take up too much of your time. Didn't really want to go over 10 minutes. But, like I said, right now we're actively in one trade. And, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes from here. We're going to sit tight and see if this thing can push back down to my target price. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at the Residual Group _EST 2016. You can email me at trgroup610 @gmail.com. All right, guys. Have a good one.